Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this lovely occasion, let me introduce myself. My name is Dwi Rahmadani Davis. I'm from Accounting Department 2017. First of all, I would like to thanks to my thesis advisor, Mrs. Rita Rahayu S.A. M.Si. Dr. AKCA, who has given guidance to me to complete this thesis as a partial fulfillment of the requirements to get the degree of accounting at the Faculty of Economics Andalas University. And also, I would like to thanks for the opportunity that has been given to me to present my thesis with the title, The Use of Accounting Information System at Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises in Padang City Before and During the COVID-19 Pandemic. So, let me start by giving you the outline of the study. First, background. The sections consist of research background, problem statement, research objective, and research benefit. Second, literature review, concept of theoretical basis, previous study and conceptual framework. Third, research methodology, concept of research design, data collection method, research population and sample, data analysis and method. Fourth, result and discussion. And fifth, the conclusion and recommendation. Now, let's move on to the first sections about the introduction of the study. So, turning out the tensions to the background of the study. As we know that the spread of the coronavirus outbreaks in the West Sumatra region has continued to increase from the initial case discovery. The increasing development of positive case requires the government to establish large-scale social restrictions policies. This policy causes a loss of household income because it requires people to work at home to reduce employee density. So it has an impact on all business sectors, especially micro, small, and medium enterprises. Before the COVID-19 pandemic in 2019, micro, small, and medium enterprises have a large contribution to gross domestic product. Micro, small, and medium enterprises contribute 60% of GDP and contribute 40% of total national export. However, in 2020, there was a decrease in GDP. The data shows that in the first quarter, GDP decreased 2.41% and in the second quarter, it decreased 4.19%. One of the factors that led to the decrease in the GDP due to the decrease of income received by micro, small, and medium enterprises during a pandemic COVID-19. Therefore, the government took actions to overcome this problem, such as creating a credit policy to help the sustainability of micro, small, medium enterprises, because one of the factors that hinders the sustainability and development of micro, small, and medium enterprises is the lack of financial access. Morajan in 2012 stated that the lack of access to finance is caused by the lack of accounting knowledge and skill of micro, small, and medium enterprises to implement and meet the standard requirements set by the bank, such as the financial statement. Therefore, micro, small, and medium enterprises need a good accounting information system to produce a good quality of financial statement. According to Maseko and Manyani in 2011, Okoli in 2011, and Analopo and Adagbit in 2014, state that the accounting information system is important for decision making, to increase business efficiency and productivity for effective business performance. In practice, there are many small medium enterprises which do not implement good accounting information system because of lack of time, cost, and accounting knowledge. However, when the researcher carried out internship and community service activities, it was found that the awareness of micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City towards accounting information system was increased. They assumed that the accounting information system will be very helpful in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, based on this background, the researcher is interested in taking the title, The Use of Accounting Information System at Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises in Padang City Before and During the COVID-19 Pandemic. This study is different from the previous study because it compares the use of accounting information system before and during the COVID-19 pandemic. The results of this study are expected to provide an overview of the implementation of accounting information system by micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City before and during the COVID-19 pandemic and the challenges in the implementation of accounting information system. Based on the background explanation, the problem to be studied is how is the implementation of accounting information system by micro, small and medium enterprises in Padang City before and during the Covid-19 pandemic. Based on the problem statement above, the objective of this study is to investigate the implementation of accounting information system by micro, small and medium enterprises in Padang City before and during the Covid-19 pandemic. Now, I would like to look at the benefits of this study. First is academic benefits, or to increase the knowledge regarding the use of accounting information system, to contribute the development of literature on the financial statement in Indonesia, and to become one of the references and guidance for the future research on the same topic. Second is the practical benefits. First, for the governments, as an evaluations to be able to improve the future programs in order to improve the development of micro, small and medium enterprises in Indonesia. And second, for micro, small and medium enterprises to add information related to the efficient and effective accounting information system practice, and to increase the awareness to carry out good accounting information system to improve the performance. Next, let's move on to the second sections about literature review. In this study consists of definition of accounting information system, the purpose of accounting information system, the component of accounting information system, manual accounting system versus computerized accounting system, and also the accounting cycle that consists of revenue cycle, expenditure cycle, payroll cycle. And then the last one is financial statement. Now, I would like to look at the challenges in implementation of accounting information systems. There are several reasons for not carrying out accounting information systems, such as it takes a longer time. The costs required are very expensive for micro, small and medium enterprises, requires more adequate technical skills and knowledge about accounting, and requires a lot of cost to recruit additional staff with accounting expert. Now, let's move on to the next topic about the previous study. The first is study conducted by Maseko and Manyani in 2011. This study shows that the majority of respondents were more focused on recording sales and purchase that are directly made by their owners. The majority of respondents prepare an income statement that aims to measure the financial performance. However, the use of this accounting information system is not effective in supporting financial performance because it is contained by several factors such as lack of accounting knowledge and the high cost incurred in hiring a professional accountant. Next is research conducted by Amako in 2013. The result of this study proved that the majority of respondents assumed that accounting information system was important, especially to track the account receivable and debt. In addition, the accounting information system is useful for measuring the company's performance, whether it has increased or decreased. The majority of respondents do not record business financial transactions because they require a lot of money, time, and adequate accounting knowledge. Next is research conducted by Amwa, Samuel, and Richardson in 2014 found that the majority of small-medium enterprises studied met bookkeeping of purchase and sales rather than other bookkeeping. The financial statements are the most prepared in the application is the income statement because it can be used to determine how much the profit and loss earned by the business. And also, the study found that the majority of respondents state that this bookkeeping was for tax calculations. Next is research conducted by Tila Karatne and Manawadu in 2014 found that there were still micro, small, and medium enterprises that did not keep accounting records. Meanwhile, the majority of small medium enterprises started to the recording of cash inflows and outflows. The recording of cash inflows and outflows is done usually by the business owners. In addition, the study also found that majority of respondents choose not to make complete accounting records due to the lack of understanding of accounting and the limited cost they had to recruit people who were expert in the accounting. Next is Simon et al. In 2019 found that majority of respondents have implemented a simple accounting information system, both manually and electronically. The study also found that the success in finding that the majority of micro, small, and medium enterprises recorded their financial transactions on a daily basis, especially cash book, and then used them to make financial report. And also the study found that majority of financial report prepare our cash flow statement and income statement. Next is research in Indonesia. First is Kurniawati, Nugroho, and Arifin in 2012 conduct a study that shows majority of respondents made financial records of sales, purchase, supplies, salary costs, and other expense. Meanwhile, the financial statements may include the financial statement of sales, purchase, inventory, and payroll. In addition, the study also shows that the challenges faced by the micro, small, and medium enterprises in applying accounting information system is the limitation of accounting knowledge. Next is research conducted by Sari and Setiawan in 2013 shows that the majority of respondents have a good perceptions about the information system. The majority of respondents record a simple transactions in their daily business activities. The form of financial statement used by the respondents is the income statement. Next is research conducted by Rita in 2016 found that most of respondents had understood about the importance of accounting information system for the success of their business. Most of respondents record their transactions into the books and make income statement. So it can be concluded that the financial information that is considered important by the respondent is related to the income and expense. Next is similar research was also conducted by Supriyono and Juliana in 2017, which found that the application of accounting cycle by the respondents in Purworejo will still lag. Even the majority of micro, small, and medium enterprises in Purworejo report did not know about the bookkeeping. And also the research conducted by Rahayu in 2019, the result of this study indicates that the majority of respondents record sales and purchase transactions. Recording cash inflow when at full transaction is also done, but not as frequently as recording sales and purchase. The result of this study also shows that the majority of respondents met income statement for the internal management and credit purpose. In addition, the biggest obstacle faced by the respondent in implementing accounting information system is the low accounting knowledge posed by the owner or the employee. Next is conceptual framework. The framework in this study shows the step in conducting research. The study begins by knowing the perceptions of how important accounting information system and its purpose, then knowing the extent to which micro, small, and medium enterprises have implemented accounting information system before entering the Covid-19 pandemic. And then will be compared by the perceptions of the implementation accounting information system by micro, small, and medium enterprises. After knowing the implementations of accounting information system that had been carried out by micro, small, and medium enterprises and the perceptions of micro, small, and medium enterprises related to the accounting information system, the researcher will easily find out what reasons have caused the low implementation of accounting information system to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Now let's move on to the third sections about research methodology. First is research design. The study combines two research approach. First is qualitative and second is quantitative approach. A qualitative approach was carried out through the study of literature related to accounting information system and its application in micro, small, and medium enterprises. The study of literature is used as a basis to support and develop the terms of reference of research and research questionnaire. Meanwhile, the quantitative approach was carried out through a survey using structured questionnaire and interview aimed at micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City. The unit analysis in this study is individuals consisting of owners or managers or employees of micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City. The time horizon for this study is cross-sectional study. Next is data collection method. In this study, researchers used secondary data and primary data. Secondary data were obtained from literature studies conducted by collecting several previous similar studies, which include research reports, journal articles, and textbooks, both online and offline, while the primary data obtained from survey that was conducted through questionnaires and interviews addressed to the owners or manager or employee of micro, small, and medium enterprises. The questionnaire in this study is a result of the adoptions of the questionnaire study conducted by Rita in 2016 and will be sent to micro, small, and medium enterprises through an online questionnaire using Google Form. This study also used interview. Before doing this interview, the researcher contacted the owner or manager or employee of micro, small, and medium enterprises who involved in filling out the questionnaire previously distributed online to seek the approval and willingness to do the direct interview. The questions provided in this interview were developed from a research questionnaire that had previously been distributed to the respondents. This interview is estimated to take about 10 to 20 minutes per respondent. Next is population and sample. The population in this study is all micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City. This study used a non-probability sampling, especially in snowball sampling technique. Thus, in the study, the sample to be studied was 173 micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City. However, before this questionnaire is distributed to respondents on large scale, the researchers distribute this questionnaire to 10 respondents to be tested during the pre-test or pilot test, which aim to ensure that the effectiveness of the questionnaire as a medium of communication between the researchers and the respondents. So the result is the respondent can understand and fill in all the questions in the questionnaire that has been distributed. Next is data analysis and method. This study used a simple statistical descriptive analysis to analyze the result of the survey questionnaire. In practice, the data that has been collected through a structured questionnaire will be entered and processed into SPSS program, and the data analysis was performed using descriptive statistical data including frequency, percentage, and ranking. Next is result and discussion sections. First, survey result and discussion. The study used primary data obtained through a questionnaire distributed to micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City. Actually, there are 187 respondents in this study, but 14 respondents are invalid, so the total respondents of the study are 173 respondents. The result of the data obtained from the respondents consists of, first, respondent profile. From the table 1, it is observed that out of 101 respondents were female and 72 respondents were male. And also 57 respondents are in the age of group of 31 to 35 years. In the terms of education background, the findings indicate that 75 respondents have complete undergraduate degree. And also based on the length of business experience, 68 respondents have 0 to 3 years in the present field. Second is the importance of accounting information system and its purpose. The sections of the paper sought to find out the respondents' perceptions about the importance of accounting information system for micro, small, and medium enterprises and the purpose of maintaining accounting information system. From the table 1, out of 76 respondents felt that accounting information system was very important in running a business. 68 respondents said that it was important, 20 respondents said that it was quite important, and only 9 respondents said that accounting information system was not important in running a business. Next is the purpose of maintaining accounting information system. From the table 3, based on the perceptions of respondents about the purpose of maintaining accounting information system, 86 respondents use accounting information system to track account receivable and payables. 41 respondents used accounting information system to evaluate performance, and only 1 respondent used accounting information system to calculate the tax. Next is status and condition of implementation of accounting information system at micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City. These sections of the study sought to find out who was responsible for the bookkeeping and accounting functions, type of bookkeeping by micro, small, and medium enterprises before and during the COVID-19 pandemic, accounting bookkeeping method used by the respondent before and during the COVID-19 pandemic, and the financial statement prepared by the respondent before and during the COVID-19 pandemic. First is responsibility for bookkeeping and accounting function. From Table 4, out of 149 respondents who keep financial records of their business, 120 respondents state that there are business owners who are in charge of bookkeeping and accounting function for their business. 16 respondents use sales personnel, 13 respondents use accounting staff, and no one used consultant. Next is type of bookkeeping. From the Table 5, before COVID-19 pandemic, 101 respondents keep sales book and 98 respondents keep purchase book. However, during the COVID-19 pandemic, record keeping of sales and books was decreased. 84 respondents keep sales book and 86 respondents keep purchase books. Payroll record keepings was also decreased during the pandemic COVID-19. Only 27 respondents who keep payroll books. Meanwhile, recording cash receipt and cash expenditure during the COVID-19 pandemic was increased. Before COVID-19, 87 respondents keep cash receipt books and 89 respondents keep cash expenditure book. During a pandemic, 95 respondents keep a cash receipt and 97 respondents keep a cash expenditure book. Next is accounting bookkeeping method. From Table 6, 73.4% of respondents use manual accounting system, whereas 27.2% of respondents use computerized accounting system. There is no difference in the use of accounting bookkeeping method by the respondents before and during the COVID-19 pandemic. Next is the financial statement. From the Table 7, before the COVID-19 pandemic, 46 respondents prepared an income statement. However, during the COVID-19 pandemic, respondents who prepared income statement was decreased to 38 respondents. Likewise, there was a decrease in the number of respondents who prepared the balance sheets from the 35 respondents before the pandemic to the 32 respondents during the pandemic. The number of respondents who prepared notes to financial statement was also decreased from 19 respondents before pandemic to 15 respondents during the pandemic. Meanwhile, there was no change in the number of respondents who prepared change in equity statement both before and during the COVID-19 pandemic, whereas there was an increase in the amount of respondents who prepared a statement of cash flows from 31 respondents before the pandemic to 48 respondents during the pandemic. Next is challenges of using and keeping accounting records. The sections of this study sought to find out the challenges of using and keeping accounting record by micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City. From the Table 8, we know that 119 respondents attribute their inability to keep proper accounting records to high cost and time constraints. This is followed by the lack of accounting knowledge and lack of special staff for managing finance for micro, small, and medium enterprises. And also in the study found that 29 respondents cite difficulty in separating between business and family financial records. Next is interview result and discussions. The study also used the interview method as my explanation before in the research methodology sections. Before conducting interviews, the researcher contact the owner or manager or employee of the micro, small, and medium enterprises who involved in filling out the questionnaires previously distributed online to seek the approval and willingness to conduct the interviews. Thus, it is obtained 19 respondents who were willing to conduct the interview. The purpose of this interview is to give an explanation to the questions in the questionnaire that has been shared through social media. First is the importance of accounting information system and its purpose. The sections of this study sought to find out the importance of accounting information system and the purpose of maintaining accounting information system. From the result interviews, it can be identified that majority of respondents have used the accounting information system and assume that the accounting information system has an important role in keeping track of receivable and payables, measure the success of the business, and also easier to obtain the credit, even though they have not been using the accounting information system overall. The following statements or evidence of these views. First is, in my opinion, the accounting information system is very important. I have used the accounting information system as a whole, although not arranged neatly. With the accounting information system, I could find out easily how many accounts have not been received and the debt that I have not paid. The accounting information system can also explain the extent to which the success of my business. And also from the other business owners, state that in running the business, I have used accounting information system, but only in simple writing based on my habits in running a business. I can find out how much I have to produce and what level of income I get. With the accounting information system, the business that I run further increase revenue and more targeted than without use accounting information system. Although the accounting information system that I use is not arranged according to the accounting standard. And something similar was stated by the other business owners, such as I've used the overall accounting information system but is writing or not. According information system can help me to know the condition of my business, whether it is success or not, by looking at the level of profitability by my business. Moreover, I find it easier to track customers who owe money so it can prevent loss. Next is status and condition in implementation of accounting information system at micro, small, and medium enterprises. Based on the interview result, majority of respondents running their own business as well as set their own business finance. The following evidence of this view is I manage everything from shopping, selling, and counting the money because of my own business. However, there are some respondents use the service of financial staff to record the transactions. The following evidence of the view is I have an employee who understands accounting, so I do not need to record, but I still check it to avoid the theft. The study of interview also explained that the majority of respondents record sales and purchase before the COVID-19 pandemic. The respondents argue that recording sales can be easier to know directly the amount of revenue in one day, and recording purchase are widely used to match the item purchased. The following evidence of this view is I have a book to record sales. Usually, I record the customer owned in this book, but for cash sales, I usually don't write it, just enter to my pocket. Meanwhile, to record purchase, I always write it because I often forget what items I bought. If I don't record it, the double purchase often occurs, so the goods are redundant. Meanwhile, during the COVID-19 pandemic, majority of respondents record cash inflows and cash outflows. According to the respondents' opinion, they only need to record cash inflows and outflows to estimate the condition and ability of their business to pay debt during this pandemic. They know that one of the biggest challenges for micro, small, medium enterprises in this condition is reducing income because reducing of activities in the outside. Additionally, respondents assume that if the cash inflows are greater than cash outflows, it means profit. The following evidence of the view is this time my sales decline, only a few customers who come. This condition is very different than before. Normally, I record sales every day, but because of declining sales, I'm so lazy to record it. I didn't buy a lot of stuff because the old stuff was still there. Prior to socialization of the village, I was not eager to do the recording. However, after socialization, we are encouraged to not how much cash inflows and outflows, to determine the conditions of the business at the time of the pandemic. And also I tried it. It was true. I'm more efficient because I know how much spending. In addition, the interview also explained that majority of respondents taking notes manually. The respondents assumed that recording is done manually would be more appropriate than using a computer because it is so simple. So the following evidence of this view is it is complicated when using a computer. Buying a computer is also expensive. I can wear it even though I have one, so it is more practical to use paper only. Just write it. If it is wrong, I just delete it and create a new one. This study also finds that majority of respondents make financial statements or more interested in making income statement before the pandemic COVID-19 because the respondents more focused to find out the income of their business. The following evidence of these views is we are making a report, but it is not optimal. We have an income statement, we write it income and expense. We make this report every day to find out the profit per day. We also make a balance sheet, but it is not optimal, adjusted with our knowledge. During the pandemic COVID-19, the majority of respondents more interested in preparing a cash flow statement. This is because of the majority of respondents considered that if they prepare a cash flow statement, they know clearly where the money comes from and for what the money used. Respondents said that during the current crisis situation such as this pandemic, their business are vulnerable to the ability to meet the obligations. Therefore, cash flow statement required to access the company's ability to meet its debt obligation and showing the conditions when it need the external funding. The following evidence of this view is currently I made a simple cash flow statements unlike large companies in general. To apply for credit my business to lose, I need the money so that my business can survive. Previously, I also made this report, but not it is more focused than the income statement. To know whether I'm making a profit or loss, I just look at my cash book. If the cash inflows is greater than cash outflows, then I will make a profit. However, I made the income statement, but I think these conditions are not important to prepare income statement. Next is challenges of using and keeping accounting records. Related to challenges of using and keeping accounting records, the majority of respondents thought that bookkeeping requires a lot of cost and take a long time. The following evidence of this view is I'm busy, so there is no time to record it. I receive money directly into my wallet. However, I think in fact the information system is important, but I do not have enough money to hire people who are expert in the field of accounting. Respondents also said that they have limited knowledge of accounting and do not have human resources who have the ability to conduct the financial recording and reporting. The following evidence of these views is my accounting knowledge is simply to record regular bookkeeping on credit or cash. I record expense and income by collecting evidence in the form of notes. In my opinion, counting and recording activities are included in accounting. Next is discussion. First, the importance of accounting information system and its purpose. Based on data obtained from the research questionnaire and interview, the respondent perceptions about accounting information system are very important to be applied in the business. In running the business, most of respondents have used the accounting information system to make an economic decisions. The result of this study indicates that most respondents use accounting information system to track account receivable and payable. Respondents argue that they are easily to find out how much the unearned receivable and how many unpaid debts. In addition, the accounting information system is also widely used by respondents as evaluation of business performance. These results support the previous study of Maseko and Magnani in 2011, Amako in 2013, Analapo and Aragbit in 2014, and Simon et al. In 2019. However, This result was opposite to the result obtained by Amoa, Samoa, and Richardson in 2014, which state that the purpose of bookkeeping conducted by the respondents for tax calculations. Next is status and condition in implementation of accounting information system at micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City. The first question posed to the respondents was associated with the who was responsible for the bookkeeping and accounting function. Based on the result of the study, majority of respondents make bookkeeping prepared directly by the business owner because it will require a lot of money to recruit employees who are expert in accounting. So this result support the previous study of Amoa, Samuel, and Richardson in 2014, Jayaseli and Justus in 2014, and Tilakarane and Manawadu in 2016, and Juita in 2016. The next question posed to the respondents was associated with the types of bookkeeping. Majority of respondents have record sales and purchase before the COVID-19 pandemic. Recording sales and purchase before the pandemic were high. The respondents assumed that the recording sales they can immediately find out how much income for a day. The respondents keep the purchase record to find out what items must be purchased to determine how much cash will be issued. Recording of cash received at disbursement is also high because from cash inflows and outflows, the respondents can see how much they profit and also control the income and expense every day. This study support the previous study of Maseko and Manyani in 2011, Kurniawati, Nugroho, and Arifin in 2012, Amoa, Samuel, and Richardson in 2014, and Juita in 2016. Whereas during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was an increasing in recording of cash inflows and outflows. This is because the respondents know that one of the biggest challenges for micro, small, and medium enterprises during a pandemic is reducing income due to the reducing community activities in the outside. However, they can estimate the condition of the business during this pandemic and estimate whether the cash inflows are able to pay their. This bookkeeping also used to obtain credits during the pandemic. The respondents also assume that if cash inflows were greater than cash outflows, it means profit. However, sales and purchase books that were initially high before the pandemic have decreased during the pandemic. Respondents choose not to continue to record sales and purchase because sales and purchase was decreased. So the respondents rely on memory to recall the sales and purchase transactions. In addition, a lot of sales and purchase are put into cash inflows and cash outflows. Meanwhile, the recording of salaries is still low because the respondent thinks that the salary has been included in cash outflows. The next questions posed to the respondents was associated with the bookkeeping method. The proper base manual method of accounting information system was higher than the computer method. The majority of respondents considered that recording business transactions using the computer method was difficult to understand and required a lot of cost to provide a computer. This study support the previous study of Jayaseli and Justus in 2014, Saman et al. In 2019. Meanwhile, during the COVID-19 pandemic, there was no difference in the method used by the respondents in recording their financial transactions. The next question posed to the respondents was related to the preparation of financial statements. The majority of respondents know about the income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, changes in equity, and notes to financial statement, but there are still respondents who do not use this report in their business. In fact, before the COVID-19 pandemic, the income statement had the highest percentage compared to the other reports because it would provide information about daily profit, but the use of this report was still low because respondents felt it was difficult and inconvenient to prepare a standardized income statements. So this result of study support the previous study of Amoa, Samuel, and Richardson in 2014, Juita in 2016, and Rahayu in 2019. Meanwhile, during the COVID-19 pandemic, The income statement prepared by respondent was decreased. The respondent assumed that during a pandemic, they do not need to calculate profit because sales have been decreased. Meanwhile, there was an increase in the preparation of cash flow statement. Respondents assumed that the cash flow statement is required during the COVID-19 pandemic because the activities financed by the respondents. This is because during this pandemic, most of respondents borrow funds from cooperative and other financial institutions to help them in a crisis due to the decline in the sales.
Next is conclusions. We know that from the research background that have already explanation before, micro, small and medium enterprises have an important role for the Indonesian economy. However, there are still several obstacles that cause the slow growth of the micro, small and medium enterprises. These conditions got worse during the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic caused loss to micro, small, and medium enterprises due to the decrease of income and difficulty in obtaining loans to finance institutions. Previously, there had been a lot of previous literature that indicate that the access to finance and capital was one of the factors which had an impact on the growth of micro, small, and medium enterprises. The factors causing this situation is the poor quality of financial statement. Micro, small, and medium enterprises often lack of knowledge and skill needed to register loan applications or meet applicable standard requirements, particularly those related to reliable financial statements. Therefore, this study aims to evaluate the conditions for implementation and utilization of accounting information system at micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City before and during the COVID-19 pandemic. The purpose of this study was realized through the survey using questionnaire and also using interview. In practice, this study used simple descriptive statistical analysis and has success in finding the result. First, most of the respondents had understood that accounting information system was essential for the success of their business. This can be seen from the high utilization of financial information as a basis for tracking receivable and payable, and also evaluating the business performance. And then there are still respondents that have not or do not record and manage their finance information periodically or separately from the personal or business finance. And also, from this study, we know that it can be concluded most of respondents use manual and some of them use computerized system. And also the most of bookkeeping practice were carried out directly by the business owners. And also, before the COVID-19, most of respondents carried out periodic and separate recording and bookkeeping of financial information. In addition, it is known that most of respondents are very concerned about sales books, purchase books, and cash books related to their daily business expense and sales. Meanwhile, during the COVID-19, respondents paid more attention to recording cash book to make it easier to find out the receivable that had not been collected and expense that had to be paid. And also, the study found that before the COVID-19 pandemic, the result shows that majority of respondents prepared financial records at the end of accounting period. Most of the financial statement that has been met by the respondent is the income statement. Meanwhile, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the making of cash flow statement was increased because respondents thought that cash flow statement could provide a clear picture of where and for what money were used by the respondents during the COVID-19 pandemic. And also, the study found that the main challenges faced by the micro, small, and medium enterprises in implementing the accounting information system is the lack of time and cost and also the lack of accounting knowledge. Next is limitations and recommendations. Like any other studies, The study has certain limitations. First, the study does not investigate into the factors that influence the successful of implementation of accounting information system at micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City, especially those using computer program. Second, the number and location of sampling in the study is limited to Padang City. So based on the limitations, we suggest that for the next researchers, first, it would be better to examine the factors that influence the successful implementation of accounting information system at micro, small, and medium enterprises in Padang City, especially those using computerized program. Second, it would be better if the future research related to the topic is expanded by increasing the number of samples and type of business sectors, as well as the area coverage to other cities or regencies in West Sumatra or even other provinces in Indonesia. So that's all about my explanation about my thesis. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.